On Battle of the Ports this week, we go all 3D with Atari's combat flight simulator arcade game, Steel Talons, which was released in 1991. You take on the role of a pilot for the AT-1196 Steel Talons combat helicopter, equipped with a machine gun, rockets, and a limited number of air-to-surface guided missiles. The original arcade version has a joystick, analog collective lever on the left side that controls the altitude of the helicopter, and rudder pedals. The back of the seat has a speaker that thumps when the player's helicopter is hit. It also has a button called Real Heli Mode, which makes flying more difficult, but also allows more freedom of movement, and can be an advantage during multiplayer games. Playing this on MAME, as I am here, can be quite tricky. I had to use an 8-bit DOE analog controller to play this game, but had an awful time configuring the controls. Hence why I'm flying all over the place. But believe me, when the controls are configured correctly, this is a lot of fun. The first port was going to be released on the Atari Falcon, but sadly I can't show you it because it kept crashing. I tried so many images of the game over multiple hardware configurations, but I just could not get this one to run. Sorry. The 16-bit consoles got a port of Steel Talons too, starting with this Mega Drive version from Poly Games, who also did hard driving on the Mega Drive. This is much worse though. At first things look okay with the same attract scenes as the arcade game and even the same speech, but then the game starts. Oh my, this is one pig of a game. The frame rates, as I'm sure you can see, are really low, making this quite difficult to control. Talking of which, the real flight mode from the arcade is gone. What we get are very simple controls that don't really work well on the Mega Drive's 3-button pad. Sadly, there is no 6-button mode. There's no first-person mode either. Overall, this game just isn't very nice to play, and really should have been running faster than it does on the Mega Drive. Next is the SNES version by Panoramic, and this one surprises. We get the real or basic flight controls, and the first person viewpoint is here. Sadly, while we do get full-on controls, they aren't very well implemented, making fine adjustments very tricky, as you can clearly see here as I struggle to get through the hoops. What is interesting about this port is the behind the chopper view uses a mixture of sprites and polygons. This is what enables the viewpoint to really speed along. Going into first person viewpoint though, and the frame rate really drops. Saying that, it's still faster than the Mega Drive version, however, there's also a lot less going on screen too. Despite the sloppy controls, I did find myself having some fun with this title in the third person viewpoint, and can imagine really enjoying it back in the early 90s. Finishing up with the Atari Lynx, and as often is the case, Atari's little handheld surprises us. What we have here is the most playable home port of Steel Talons, I kid you not. The controls are very intuitive and the game moves at a reasonable pace as well. What's even more impressive is that this port contains the speech and arcade stages. Sadly, not everything is perfect. Having to pause the game to see the map is quite annoying, and we do need to use option 2 button for missiles. But still, even with these issues, I think this is the way to play Steel Talons on console.
Stay low to follow the river, and don't cut those corners too tight.
And let's take a look at all those versions of Steel Talons running side by side.